What's up everyone, back for another vlog, and in today's vlog, I'll be showing you the Shelfie beers that I'll be reviewing for the month of February 2025. So if you're unfamiliar with what Shelfie beer reviews are, they are reviews of beers that I can easily grab off the shelves here in the Western New York area, and more specifically Buffalo, New York. And I try to get a good mix of beers from some of the bigger regional, national, and international breweries. And I post Shelfie beer reviews every single Tuesday and Friday of each month. And in the month of February, there are 8 Tuesdays and Fridays. Therefore, there are 8 beers here in front of me, and they are in order of how I'm going to post them over the course of the month from your left to right. So this is the first, and this is the last. So after a 4-month hiatus, Shelfie beer reviews have returned, and the reason for the hiatus was we here on the channel we're doing a bunch of different themed series. If you go back to October, I did the 7th annual 10 Days of Pumpkin. Back in December, I did holiday themed beer reviews, and then last month I did all Imperial beer theme month. So I didn't want to overcrowd each month with Shelfie beers on top of all these other themes. So I took a little bit of a back seat. We're bringing them back now. Typically, I would say about 8 or 9 months out of the year, I do these Shelfie beer reviews, and it's pretty consistent from this month, which, February, pretty much through September. I might miss a month here or there, but these will probably never go away, but they don't happen every month, just most months. So just keep that in mind. So for the first time since last September, we are doing some Shelfie beer reviews. Let's go over the 8 that I have picked up for this month. The first one we have here is actually a collaboration between Guinness and the Brooklyn Brewery, and this is their Fonio Stout. So they call this one a bold and lively stout. What this is a stout that is brewed with Fonio, which is I believe an ancient West African grain that Brooklyn is kind of infatuated with. They did I want to say it was a double Pilsner or something that I saw. But when I saw this one get released, I was pretty excited about it. But the only reason I knew this one was released is because of a very good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber Joe over at Joe's Arcade. He actually had a friend who really wanted this beer, so he reached out to some of the East Coast beer tubers like myself and the guys over at over at FLX Beer Reviews, Dan and Mike. I wanted to say Dan and Mike over at FLX Beer Reviews, but it's Beer Patrol. We don't know what's going on. And so I picked this up and I contacted Joe. I was like, hey, did anybody get you this yet? And he said, yep, Dan and Mike did. So kudos to them. So I had a whole 4-pack of it. I figured I'd review one. I gave one to my dad, and then the other 2 I already shared. I shared at my local bottle shop of choice, brewed and bottled in Lewiston, New York, and I had a 4 or 5 ounce pour of it because there was a couple cans, split it between a bunch of people, and I was probably like a half, maybe half dozen pours deep, so it wasn't on a fresh palate. So now I get the chance to try it. They have a whole spiel. They have the serving facts, kind of like you get from Guinness. We'll read it when we do the review, but the can itself is pretty swank. I like it. And then you get you probably won't be able to read the back. I don't know, maybe if I go a little bit closer with the camera, but they have a little spiel on the back. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that will be the first that I review this month, and I'm happy. I'm real happy. So shout out to Joe for the assist there, mentioning it, because, I don't follow everything nowadays when it comes to craft beer. Too many beers getting released, too many collabs, this and that. So, but that's really cool. Next, we have from Dogfish Head, we have their Covered in Nugs. So this is an American IPA, 6.7% alcohol by volume. Oh yeah, by the way, with the Guinness, this is going to be essentially about just under 4 months old when I review it. This Covered in Nugs is going to be about just under 2 months old. So give you a look at this Covered Nugs. Now this is just kind of like an old school American IPA based on everything that I've seen them say about this one. I actually wanted to pick up the 75-minute IPA. So if you've never tried 75-minute before, you're not familiar with 75-minute, they released that one many years ago. It's coming back this year in a variety pack. So that's pretty cool. At the same time, actually, let me grab a paper towel here. My nose is running. I do apologize. But at the same time, it's only available in that variety pack, for sure. So I have not seen the variety pack yet. At some point, it should show up. So I was like, I want 75-minute. Couldn't find it. So I settled for this, although I've had like 3 or 4 people tell me this is a really good beer from Dogfish Head. So we're going to review it in February. Next, we have one that I've really wanted to try when I saw them release this one. So this is from Victory, and this is their Tasty Cake Peanut Butter Candy Cake. So this is a porter. I guess it's a peanut butter porter coming in at 6% alcohol by volume. And by the time I review this one, I would imagine it's probably a couple months old. It does have a best by date of May 25th or 26th of 2025. And this is another collaboration between Victory and Tasty Cake. This one there is inspired by the peanut butter candy cakes. So they say notes of chocolate, peanut butter filling, light pound cake, the whole nine. I was not a huge fan of the one they released last year, which was with their coffee cake. And I thought that was not great. I had a weird astringent finish. A lot of people disagreed with me, which is fine. I love when people disagree with me, and they definitely disagreed with me, and I'm okay with that. So this one I'm hoping is as good as I think it should be, but there's only one way to find out. So that is the Victory Tasty Cake Peanut Butter Candy Cake. Next, we have a relatively new beer from Sam Adams, like in the last year and a half. So I think they released this one towards the end of December of 2023 for the first time. This is their Breakaway Blonde. They say refreshing and smooth, 4.7%, 15 IBUs, and has a best by date of May of 2025. So we do have the Breakaway Blonde from Sam Adams. I'm sure a lot of you have had this beer from Sam Adams. I have not. So I thought, hey, let's throw a Sam Adams beer into the mix, and we ended up here. Next, we have a beer that I'm pretty excited for because of one ingredient, but it's from the Left Hand Brewing Company, and this is their Coconut Milk Stout. So this is a 6% coconut milk stout. Let's see, do they say anywhere on the label, like, yeah, milk stout with coconut and natural flavors added. Comes in at 6%, I saw 6% alcohol by volume, and this one has, not a best by days, package on November 26th of 2024. When I review this one, probably be like 2.5, close to 3 months old, but yeah, we have the Left Hand Coconut Milk Stout, so I'm here for that. Sweet. So yeah, I love coconut. If you follow the channel, you know I'm a coconut fiend, and I had to pick this one up. I've been disappointed with a lot of Left Hand beers in general, but the Milk Stout lineup has been hit or miss for me in the last couple years. I'm hoping that's more of a hit. It is a seasonal. We'll see. Next, we have from the Great Lakes Brewing Company out of Cleveland, Ohio, and this is their Cran Orange Wheat. So it's a wheat beer with cranberry and orange, comes in at 5.5% alcohol by volume, and this one has a best by date of June 2nd of 2025, so quite fresh, this one. And I wanted to review this one last year, but by the time I got wind of it, I ended up not being able to find it, which was a big time bummer. So we do have the Cran Orange Wheat here. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. The Cran Orange Keller beer from Genesee was one of the most surprising Genesee beers I've ever had. It was absolutely delicious. I'm hoping that Great Lakes is just as good. And also shout out to whoever runs the Great Lakes social media, everything involved, including YouTube. They comment on my reviews, and they are so receptive. In fact, they commented on the last beer I reviewed from them, which I didn't like as much as I thought I was going to. It was their Cookie Exchange Milk Stout, the new one. And, I didn't give it a high score or anything. I thought it was pretty solid, nothing amazing. But they appreciate just both positive and negative reviews. As long as I think you're giving constructive criticism, most breweries would be receptive to that. But they actually post comments thanking me for the review and stuff. They've done it about a half dozen times now. It's really awesome. When a bigger brewery actually reaches out and says, post a comment, a couple sentences. It's really nice to know that they are watching and that they do appreciate it. And I try to be as honest as possible with my reviews. So I do like Great Lakes beers, but that one wasn't like my favorite. It was still pretty solid. But it was awesome to see them be like, can't be winners for everybody. And they're right, they can't, but it's really cool. So shout out to Great Lakes for the interaction. It's really welcoming. I love it. Anyway, next we have from Abita, a beer that until I saw it on the shelves, I had no idea this thing was even something that Abita was thinking up. It says limited series. This is their Vanilla Triple Dog. So this is an ale with vanilla, and on the side it says Imperial Triple Brown Ale, 8% alcohol by volume, and I think this is relatively fresh. I know there's a date on here that I have to take down, but this just came out. So I absolutely love the label too. The label is sick. The dog with the glasses on there says Triple Dog. I mean, that's an awesome label. Shout out to Beta for that. But this is really cool. Their Turbo Dog is one of my favorite brown ales. I get like a Heath Bar kind of vibe from it. So this is like an imperialized version of it, and they add vanilla. I'm here for it. And last but not least, we have an international beer. This is a beer that I'm grabbing for a couple different reasons. Number one, I haven't had it in many years. And on top of that, seems like their beers are going by the wayside. Who am I talking about? I am talking about none other than the Griffin Brewery, and this is their Fuller's London Pride. So they call it an outstanding amber ale. I think this is pretty much an English bitter. It comes in at 4.7% alcohol by volume, and this has a best by date of July 1st of 2025, so relatively fresh. And the reason I actually grabbed this one to review is because I cannot find a lot of the Fuller's beers nowadays, and it's very disappointing, honestly. A lot of their beers are just leaving the area, including their London Porter. I can't find the ESB, the London Porter, don't see the Vintage Ale, so I thought I'd pick this one up to review. Now, when I get the whole blind beer style tournament off the ground, I want London Porter to be in that, or at least have a, you guys are going to, when we talk about it when I get to it, but I want that to be an option. So if anybody out there can get Fuller's London Porter in the US and is able to get it to me at some point, please let me know. I've reached out to a couple people who I thought could get it and they cannot. So I don't know if they're pulling London Porter, maybe even London Pride out of the US, or just maybe special order, whatever the case may be. Very disappointing that I cannot find that beer. So I thought I'd grab this and review it. It's been probably, I don't know, 10 years since I've had this one. I've always remember enjoying it, a nice English bitter, but I think they've gotten sold, maybe bought out. I think, yeah, because I was looking on here and I think it says, I think Asahi actually owns them now. Could be wrong on that. Yeah, Asahi. So hopefully this is one of those beers they didn't mess with like a lot of the big breweries like to do when they buy out. I never understood breweries buying a... I never understood big breweries buying smaller craft breweries and then tinkering with everything and making them worse. It doesn't make any sense. It's an investment. Like, keep the quality there, but everything's cost cutting, and then they go away and people are like, what happened? Don't cut corners. That's what happened. Anyway, that's a whole nother spiel for another vlog. Anyway, as you can see, we have 8 beers here. Going to review them in February, and this is at the end of this vlog. This is what I typically ask you guys. What beer or beers of these 8 are you looking forward to the reviews of? Myself personally, obviously London Pride, haven't had it in many years. This, I want on a fresh palate. Hoping the Victory Tasty Cake's better than last year, and then the Coconut Milk Stout. Obviously, I'm looking forward to all of these. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked them up. But at the end of the day, I think this is a beautiful lineup of like true Shelfies. You have Guinness and Brooklyn. You have Dogfish Head. You have Victory. You have Sam Adams, Left Hand, Great Lakes, Abita, Fuller's. All of these are, at the very least, huge regional breweries. And some of these are national, and some of them are international. So anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Using my new camera, over the past couple of days, I shot 3 reviews, and then I'm come back and shooting some more this week. And I will say that I thought the sound on this sounded really good. I did turn it up in post slightly, but I didn't want to use the second notch because I thought it would be too loud. So we'll see what ends up happening if you guys enjoy them as well. I like being able to zoom in the whole 9. I think the quality and the color is a lot better. So let me know if you think so as well, if you haven't already commented on a prior video. But yeah, I'm going to shut this one down. Be on the lookout for this in probably a couple days by the time. I think I'm posting this on a Sunday night, and you'll see this on the first Tuesday. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another vlog. And until the next one, cheers.